Yeah, here you go.
Okay, so I'll be sharing my nutrition career journey as a science officer in the field of nutrition with the Ministry of Health Malaysia. Right, the next slide. Briefly, my introduction. I'm Tirukanish Sanwashivam. My background as a PSP began with a very basic requirement, which is a bachelor degree in nutrition obtained from UKM in the year 2010. I eventually furthered my master's in health sciences in nutrition by research mode, UKM as well. And I was at the thesis writing stage when I was called for an interview by the Public Service Department and was successfully offered the post of PSP and reported to duty in the year of 2012 at Sarawak, to be precise, at the KKIA Simunjan Bandar. And I finished my thesis write-up, my master's thesis write-up, and graduated in the year of 2013. During the same year, I was also been asked to move from KKI Simunjan Bandar to KK Kota Semarahan to replace my senior PSP who went on a study leave. And I was in Sarawak for more than 2 years before I myself requested for a transfer to the Peninsular Malaysia. And I was posted to the Pejabat Kesihatan Daerah Kulim in Kedah. And I served for slightly more than 7 years, after which I was promoted and posted to nutrition sector of Penang State Health Department, which is I am till to date. And while I was working in Kulim also, I took up my second postgraduate studies, an MBA, Masters in Business Administration, majoring in marketing in the year of 2021. Looking retrospectively into my years of service and locations, I served as a nutritionist at different locations and settings, including rural areas in Sarawak, suburban in Sarawak and Kedah, and as well as urban area in Penang, as well as different settings at the clinic level, district, and currently at the state level. Hence, I'm sharing my journey as the following. Next. I've been a clinic nutritionist in Clinic Kesihatan, covering a whole rural district, and I was the first PSP and the only officer in the district when I was posted there. There were no medical doctors at any of the 8 clinics during those years, the year of 2012. Basically, the scope of practice as a clinic nutritionist is to advocate and promote nutritional well-being of individual, communities, and the population. All right. So within the coverage area of the clinic kesihatan or the clinic desa that they are working around. And it is actually much of nutrition counseling, which I did at those years, mostly undernutrition cases like anemia and underweight. The prevalence of anemia among pregnant women in the third trimester was almost 40% when I first went there. And we had always been good with our multidiscipline healthcare workers. So we had a very good cooperation with them. And as you can see, some of the pictures that I shared here, we even did home visits to ensure quality service delivery, even to the extent of remote longhouses using the villages' boats, etc. For example, to look into the patients suffering from anemia and kurang zat makanan or underweight. Right, next. Besides a clinic nutritionist, also prevents and control nutrition-related diseases of various groups and different settings, such as educational institutions, nurseries, and orphanages. So we will do visits, talks, exhibitions, and etc. It will be much of a public setting, and we deliver talks, programs, and activities with all those who are nutritionists or programs that we organize with them. So some of it is like nutrition-related diseases, various groups and different settings, such as educational institutions, nurseries, and orphanages. So we will do visits, talks, exhibitions, and etc. It will be much of a public setting, and we deliver talks, programs, and activities with all those programs that we organize with them. So some of it is like, all right. So the next slide will be and being a clinic nutritionist, we also assess, monitor, and evaluate nutritional status of individuals, communities, and population, which is done by collecting census or data that we have or we collect. And we have prevalences or incidences such as the rate of exclusive breastfeeding, timely complementary feeding, and many other data. And we conduct multidiscipline discussions on how to improve the status according to the local situations. So if, let's say, the situation in Sarawak is different, accessibility to local foods, or the accessibility of energy dense food, or is it a nutrient dense food, right? So all these are based on the local situations, and we do multidisciplinary discussions to ensure that deliver quality service to the clients that are attending our nutrition class. Next. And when I moved to Kulim Kedah, I took up the role as a community nutritionist. So previously, when I was in Sarawak, I moved on to become a community nutritionist when I transferred back to Peninsula in the district of Kulim Kedah. So as you can see in the next slide. So the exposure that I received in Sarawak, I had by replacing my senior PSP. The role was easily adaptable for me, right? So as a community nutritionist, we do undertake and support nutrition research and communicate the findings. For instance, when we have nutrition programs and talks at various levels, we do share the findings such as National Health and Mobility Survey data to the public, so that they will do the necessary to improve their own nutritional status through various nutrition recommendations. And there are also localized research conducted at the clinic level or the community level by the respective nutritionists serving the particular area to further look into the nutritional issues and interventions and innovations in regards to the localized situations as well. Next slide. And the information are also disseminated through various platforms or during special days, such as World Obesity Day, World Breastfeeding Week, and etc. So we do get invitations from the media and etc. So that we also do disseminate information. We share knowledge to the general public through all these social media platforms, or even to the mass media, such as news casting, for example, Bernama TV, or even the radio stations and etc. Next slide. Next is to develop and implement and evaluate nutrition interventions. As we have our national data and local data, which we ourselves collect at the clinics and the district levels, we tailor-make the interventions to suit whichever nutritional issues plaguing the local community. For instance, in terms of the energy dense, nutrient poor food intake, which causes non-communicable diseases and overnutrition. Right. So as you can see previously, when I was in Sarawak, it was more towards an undernutrition, and when I transferred back to the Kulim Kedah area, it is more sort of a suburban. So there were more problems in terms of NCDs and also overnutrition. And community nutritionists also coordinate and provide multi-sectoral nutrition activities and programs. For instance, a PSP could not wait for the patients and clients to approach you at the clinic, but being a community nutritionist, a PSP should tap into the community and provide the relevant services. That includes activities at public places such as shopping centers. We even go to the extent of Pasar Tani, Bazaar Ramadan, and workplaces, even at high-rise residential areas. For example, apartments and flats of the B40 communities. Next. And during this exposure of meeting thousands of people in the community, organizing activities, and how the nutrition environment shapes the dietary habits of individuals and the community itself, I chose to further study, taking up an MBA majoring in marketing, which I believe plays a vital role on how I can market the nutrition messages and how I can make the public and stakeholders to buy in my nutrition activities or programs that we are actually organizing. Okay, so as you can see in my next slides, and the PSP at district needs to lead and deal with fellow nutritionists and other healthcare providers, ranging from specialists, doctors, dentists, etc. I went for a nutrition leadership program in Indonesia, organized by Simeo Rekpon. And these two further opened a platform for networking and collaboration, which I am still contributing as an alumnus of the Southeast Asia Nutrition Leadership Program, CNLP. And I also do volunteer for programs with NSF as well. Next slide. When I was promoted to Penang, I took up the position as one of the state nutritionists. And there is a change of role from being a community nutritionist to a public health nutritionist. And from that point of time, with all the experiences, the educations I received, and the training I had, I conduct capacity building in nutrition for various professions, including healthcare workers, lecturers, teachers, medical graduates, nursery caregivers, confinement ladies, and etc. And there is this training of young child feeding, which we conducted for preschool teachers, improving and increasing intake of vegetables and fruits through urban farming. This training was actually organized by the nutrition sector for teachers of preschools of the state education department, in which we invited agricultural officer to educate best practices of urban farming. So we do engage with various stakeholders, and we can't be just working in silo. So in order to increase the intake of vegetables and fruits, the nutritionists should be able to deliver informations and how they can have an accessibility towards all this food that we are actually asking them to consume. Next. I do as well provide technical advice and consultations in nutrition matters and guidelines. As we know, we have the National Nutrition Policy, nutritional guidelines, and a National Plan of Action in Nutrition. For instance, developing standard menus for institutions, namely private nurseries, care centers, universities. And we do also conduct audits, such as baby-friendly hospital initiatives, including both government and private hospitals. And in many private hospitals that are being already accredited as baby-friendly hospitals. And we are actually looking to go even more in the numbers of baby-friendly hospitals. And currently, we are guiding and providing consultations for these hospitals to be successful in the audits of become a baby-friendly hospital as well. So it's just not being an nutritionist for the public sector, but also to the extent of private sector as well. Next. And PSP also provides input for the development and implementation of nutrition and related policies and action plans. We work together with various stakeholders, namely state government, state housing board, which we in Penang are currently doing an urban community feeding, which we and as well we are actually doing some feeding for these B40 undernourished children. And we are currently also implementing war on sugar activities at food courts through the engagement with the Penang state government. And we also do nutrition advocacy at Lembaga Penduduk and Pembangunan Keluarga. NGOs such as women NGOs like Puspanita, which we organize events to do nutrition promotion and hemoglobin screening for women of reproductive age. And as well as we do share our policies and programs to international level through higher education institutions. And recently, we also received undergraduates from Institute of Helvita from Medan, Indonesia. Next. So fundamentally, those are the rules of PSP at different settings, and it differs if you are a PSP at the HQ or ministry. Those that I have shared is actually those who will be working in the setting of clinic, community or district, and state. So it might differ if you are become a PSP at the HQ or ministry. I can definitely say there are a lot of advantages and opportunities of being a PSP. You will undergo a lot of trainings to upskill yourself. And I can say that various international topics or majors will be covered during all those trainings. And it also helps to have a grasp of doing administrative and handling finance, because we hardly have clerks or supporting staff. So you do manage your administration and finance as well in terms of all the allocations that you receive. And better leadership qualities as you climb up the ladder. And most importantly, networking for a fruitful collaboration. And with all these exposures, it helps the nutritionist to acknowledge his or her passion and to identify the area of interest. Maybe you develop an interest in sports nutrition, for instance, for example. You can still contribute in the community settings by conducting nutrition interventions and weight management when you handle clients with weight problems of various age groups. And maybe develop another interest from the initial one as you pick up more experiences as well, right? So it can actually help you to identify which area of interest or which area of specializations that you would like to recognize. With that, I end my sharing with this particular quote. The next slide. Thank you.
Right. Thank you. Thank you so much, Tiru, for your kind sharing. I believe 10 minutes for your sharing is definitely not enough because PSP, the nutritionist in Ministry of Health Malaysia, definitely 10 minutes. We can't actually cover what we are doing. It's okay. We keep the questions until the end. We move on to the second speaker, Dr. Teo Aini. We will be expecting a totally different kind of sharing from Dr. Teo because she is, according to my limited understanding, the one and only policy researcher about nutrition in our country. Yeah, please, Dr. Teo, the floor is yours.
Thanks, CK, for your very kind introduction. And thank you, Mr. Tiru, as well, for sharing your nutrition journey. It's actually very interesting to learn what you have done and what you're currently doing. Perhaps if I can have my slide up so I can start my presentation. So just a very brief introduction about myself. Today I'll be talking about my career journey so far and currently what I'm doing. So you can see that from my title today, from practice as a nutritionist to now doing policy work. The next slide. A little bit of introduction about myself. I'm currently a research associate at KRI, Khazanah Research Institute. Since August 2022, I have been with KRI for close to 3 years. And current research focus on food environment and affordability healthy diets, as well as other nutrition-related issues or policies, such as the SSB tags, front of pack labeling, such as the Healthier Choice logo and NutriGrade, as well as cost of living related issues, because that's also related to food and nutrition. I actually study degree in food science and nutrition at UCSR University, which I also later did my PhD in applied science at the same university, focusing on maternal and infant nutrition. So if there are any UCSR juniors here, hi everyone. Next slide. So this picture briefly describes my nutrition career journey. I have 2 career pivots so far with a 5-year working experience, both in Malaysia and Singapore. I actually started as a R&D scientist doing food research and development, or R&D, in Singapore. Then pivoted to being a nutritionist. Started with being a corporate nutritionist for about 1 year plus, and then went on to become a community nutritionist again in Singapore. After that, I took a brief career break to pursue my PhD in maternal and infant nutrition for 3 years, which after that, I landed in my current position as a research associate at KRI. Next slide. So I'll start with the beginning of my journey, which was after the completion of my degree on food science and nutrition from UCSI. So funny story was that during my degree, my main interest has always been on food science, mainly about product development or R&D. So when it comes to, for example, when it comes to choosing an elective course, I would not hesitate to enroll in food science or product development related courses. And I would not choose nutrition at all costs because I thought I aspired to become an R&D scientist, not a nutritionist. But so upon graduation, I moved in the same direction. I managed to secure an offer from an established sauce and condiment making company in Singapore, which produces their own products such as Hainanese chicken rice sauce, hoisin sauce, soy sauce, and other Oriental sauce or condiments. The company also provides OEM services where they develop and provide sauces and condiments to be sold by other company under their own brand or name, which include major fast food chains and renowned restaurants in Singapore. My role as R&D executive was mainly to develop and improve recipe for sauces and condiments. It involved a lot of try and error because it was R&D and a very strong foundations in product development to know how to combine different ingredients and flavor to achieve the kind of taste profile, the consistency, appearance that the client asks for. We also require working very closely with the QA, quality assurance, production, and marketing teams to develop products that meet market demands and feasible for skilled production in the factory and also shelf stable. Unfortunately, I would say rather fortunately, it was a very short-lived career for me due to two main reasons. First was the toxic working environment and management at my first job, unfortunately. Second was that I found myself feeling stuck at this job. I didn't feel inspired. I didn't enjoy the R&D process as it was very task-oriented, making me realize that I might be more suited to people-oriented job, for example, as a nutritionist. Which brings me to the next slide, where I pivoted to a nutrition career, the beginning of my nutrition career. I was very lucky that I found a nutritionist job shortly after, also in Singapore, as a corporate or brand nutritionist at Kino Biotech, a Singaporean company that owns the brand Kinohimitsu. I'm sure many of you will have known this brand, which is actually quite popular in Malaysia as well as Singapore. So at Kino Biotech, I started as a customer service executive, cum nutritionist. So as the title implies, the focus of my job was mainly customer service. And so my task focuses on handling consumer inquiries on the platform, such as website and e-commerce platform, and managing online order and sales. My nutrition-specific responsibility were more on presenting the company in educating, note here, not Slimpy, promoting their products, educating the customer about the usage and benefit of their products, providing product demonstration as well. I later had the opportunity to expand my nutritionist role, where I also got the opportunity to plan and organize public health talks, where I had so they provided me a platform to use creative ways to demonstrate products through incorporation into recipe. After that, I moved on to another role as a community nutritionist in a different company where I managed several activities under the Health Promotion Board of Singapore, such as community and corporate health talks, cooking demonstrations, education tours in supermarkets and hawker centers, as well as consultation for hawkers to adopt their healthy dining program. In this second nutritionist job, it involved a lot more traveling. And also I was at the opportunity to work in different settings, such as community centers, corporate setting, senior care centers, shopping malls, hawker centers, as well as HPP events like their fun fair. So at this job, I would say I was able to carry out my roles without endorsing any product, which is different from my previous job as a corporate or brand nutritionist. So this job as a community nutritionist was public facing, hence the objectives was purely educational and awareness raising. It was highly fulfilling and enriching for me as I get to make real impact on the public, such as the elderly, corporate adults, and even children, and to see behavioral changes firsthand. So I was able to interact with lovely seniors. The job overall was also stressful because of the need for constant planning and traveling, even on weekends. So as you know, as I mentioned just now, after this, I took a career break to pursue my PhD. Next slide. And after my PhD, I was quite lucky that I managed to find a job that I actually wanted, which is a career in policy research. So in 2022, I joined Khazanah Research Institute of KRI as a policy researcher. Just a little background of KRI. KRI is a not-for-profit think tank that is dedicated to conducting research on pressing issues of the nation, and based on that research, recommend policies to improve the well-being of Malaysians. There are 4 research pillars here. First, state of household, where we study food security, public health, inequality, social protections. Second research pillar is local firms and regional economy like housing, public transportation, climate, and industrial policy. Third research pillar is human capital, productivity and income, where we look at digital, job and employment, wages, and lastly, fiscal study. So my role as a policy researcher at KRI can be represented in these 4 pictures broadly. First, it involves conducting rigorous, impartial analysis based on data, convening meetings and forums to illuminate understanding of the issues that we are trying to research. Third, engaging policymakers to present research findings and advocate for evidence-based policymaking. So involve working a lot with government stakeholders, such as in the context of public health and nutrition, it will be Ministry of Health, Ministry of Domestic Trade and Consumer Affairs, and as well as the Ministry of Agriculture. And as policy researcher, we don't just do research, we also advocate for our policy findings and recommendations. So it involves engaging in public interviews, like you see in the picture. I was featured in the Niaga Spotlight interview. Speaking engagement, panel discussions to foster policy discussion and to promote greater understanding among the general public. Next slide. I'm very grateful to have contributed to several food and nutrition policy and research areas so far at KRI, where I look at food environment, nutrition inequalities, food affordability, and policies like sugar-sweetened beverage tax. Next slide. So briefly, just to summarize what I have learned and what I'm still learning so far from my nutrition career journey is, first, you will face changes and uncertainties, but don't let them stop you from progressing. Second, early career will involve try and error, but the experience will eventually shape your path and aspiration, like what it did to me in the beginning of my career. So open yourself up to different opportunities, even maybe doing things that you do not think that you enjoy doing. And remember that failures are not setbacks, they are part of the progress. And do not stop learning and growing. Try to attend courses, pursue further study, seek opportunity to upskill and stay relevant in this ever-changing world. And lastly, if you're thinking of furthering study because you do not know what you want in your career as your first job, maybe think again. Maybe don't further study just because you do not know what to do. And that ends my very short sharing. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Teo. Sometimes in life, we do need to face some changes before we meet the loved one. Could be your partner, could be your job also. Thank you so much, Dr. Teo, for your sharing. And the time is really envious. Without further ado, we will move to the next, our final presenter, Fatin Umaira binti Muhammad Khalil, we used to address her as Fatin Khalil. So she will be sharing us something about becoming a nutritionist content creator. Very interesting topic. Fatin, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much to CK for the introduction. Thank you to NSM, my NLP for the invitation. A little bit of introduction before I started and we are waiting for the slide. I took my degree in UMS, University Malaysia Sabah. I was the pioneer batch there. And then I worked in in marketing department and as a nutritionist in a pharmacy at one of the private hospital in Kuala Lumpur around 1.5 years. And then I pursue master in clinical nutrition at UKM. And actually I just finished around February. And then we are talking about the content creator, how it is that it's actually started during COVID era. as a hobby and a fun thing to do. And then I took it seriously when I pursue my master. So the sharing that I hope to deliver today is actually how does it happen and how is it going? So it's not something that I would say I would say that this is actually a little bit personal because content creating is not something that I see as a career driven at the first place. It was driven by passion, naturally things that I would love to do in front of the camera. So after I see a lot of things that we can make up for the nutrition field as a nutritionist content creator, then I started to do something more about it. So let's go to the next slide. So why I started? Okay, actually, it was a very random afternoon during the COVID era. I sat on the sofa and then I scrolled TikTok and everything. And then I saw like one particular video from a wellness influencer, or we call it as a holistic nutrition coach. So something's fishy there. And I watched the videos, like a lot of things that I wanted to argue, but a lot of comments from the audience, from her audience, saying that they appreciate the video and everything. They gain a lot of insights. And I feel like there are actually very much people, very a lot of people want to learn more about nutrition, but I afraid that the content creator that put up the videos there is not a credible person, because I actually suspicious about the creator that I watch. And then I also see that there's a growing interest in health and wellness that's being overshadowed by this lack of credible nutrition knowledge, that sort of diet coaches and people that actually advocate for marketing purposes. So that's when I started. And then I feel like because even if the video being watched by a lot of people, how about if the video is coming from someone's professional? So I just posted a random video on a random afternoon after I just dressed up for kenduri. So the video blew up around 3K for when I just gained like 15 followers. Thank you for that early 15 followers. And then the video blew up for 3K. So I see like, okay, there's a potential there. And then we go to the next slide. So what I see is here is misinformation not only give effect to the people's health, but how the cycle of the poor decisions pushing individuals toward unhealthy shortcuts rather than sustainable and scientifically backed solutions. This we actually can see obviously from the marketing purposes that use diet coaches to sell their product and so on. So my aim is to improve nutrition literacy among Malaysians, and following to that, I wanted to give a space that is more accessible and visible to more Malaysians towards having someone having a profession as a nutritionist, or maybe like any other friends of mine who is a dietitian, that people can actually explore science-backed advices from their media social. And then next. And then this is where it has taken me. First, it becomes from the idea, which is I want to make it accessible and relatable to everyone. When I talk about relatable, this is actually because I saw like when people who are from specific marketing agency, or maybe like they have their own intention to spread the knowledge, I see that some of their menu ideas, or maybe like their meal plans, they are giving something that is not practical to Malaysians. For example, bila sorry if I mix Malay here, but hopefully it is understandable for everyone. Bila macam kita cakap pasal menu diet, people terus fikir pasal salad, tak ada macam fikir kangkung ke, tak ada fikir macam bayam ke, benda yang lagi local. So I rasa benda tu macam susah kita nak access from the internet, especially for the Malaysian setting. And then I just buat benda yang more authentic and consistent, which is coming from the action. I try to post like at least 3 to 4 videos in a month. And during that time, I don't really think that there are people actually watch my video, but at least my message is there. I want people to have something that they can gain insights from a profession like nutritionist. And then Alhamdulillah, the impact is going good so far, which I can see that there is an empowerment of our profession, and there is more awareness towards the credible profession as in nutritionist and dietitian in the social media platform, where there are a lot of brands, there are a lot of pharmaceutical companies, and even in media stream like TV, like international media like BBC. I actually got invited by BBC to talk about Malaysia and obesity, where we filmed the scene dekat Mamak Place. And actually the Mamak Place is in front of my house, which is Q Bistro. So it's a bit very close to my heart as well. And then we see that a lot of things that we can actually do from media social such like TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, even LinkedIn also got a lot of diet advices from dietitian and nutritionists there. So I hope to see more if anyone wanted to pursue something that is similar to this. So next, I share my personal experience on what I learned from this little short journey, and then hopefully to still learn along the future journey. So first of all is authenticity is your strength, because there will be like a lot of nutritionists, a lot of dietitians, a lot of wellness coaches, a lot of supplement sellers and everything going to talk about nutrition. Even we can see like doctors, even we can see like any other health professionals talk about nutrition. But we know that nutrition is our strength, and the authenticity that I'm highlighting here is how you bring yourself in the platform. What you want to, what you want people to see, and how your message is delivered. And then second is create values over numbers. When I first started, I just have like a 1,000, 3,000 followers. I don't really have motivation to do any posting, because I feel like not actually people see my video and everything. But after I receive messages like some videos are inspiring, and then they actually learn from my video, and I can see that even if one people watch my video and it affects their life positively, I will be so much happy. And then third, diversify but keep it real. In a long term direction, you can see that because social media is very fast kan, so you can see that you need to be more keep up with the trend to make sure that you still can catch the attention from the people. When we talk about nutrition professionally, there might be something that is boring compared to the entertainment content kan, so you need to diversify that, and you will learn more as the time goes. And then keep showing up, even though you feel like there is no people watching your video. Just do what you love and you do it right. Okay, and then 4 tips for you to start in case anyone here would love to create social content or any media content. First, don't wait for the perfect time, because I personally started when I just finished dressing up for kenduri, and I feel like I cantik hari tu, so I record a video, and then the 3,000 people actually watching it. So don't wait for the perfect time. And then invest in personal development. Fun fact, I actually roll my income for the content creation around 30% for growth, which I use for like a certificate ISAC, and then I went for the international conference in Bangkok, and then I also love to read books. So I bought books from local universities that's written by most of my lecturers for recent studies and research. And then I also use for equipments for content. So just invest in personal development. And then the third one, fact checking is non-negotiable. Even if it is something that is, you think that you actually acknowledge it, but you just fact check because you don't know who is your audience. Sometimes I got one client that after a week I consulted him, I just know that his background is actually something that is more credible in nutrition rather than me, but because he just interested to know my nutrition perspective and so on. So he became my client. So I just want to emphasize here that fact checking is non-negotiable. And then the last one is professionalism above all, because when you started to get the attention from media, from the brands, sometimes they want to use you or want to take advantage of the expertise to market their product and so on. So we need to be very be careful and be someone that is having a solid principle and integrity. So all the best if you guys are thinking about starting or posting your content. That's all from me. Thank you. And don't forget to follow me.
Right. Thank you, Fatin. Yeah, please follow her. I hope Fatin will still keep on to your pace, producing more and more educational, nutritional materials in the social media, because you just got a permanent job, so I hope you still can do that lah. So we are a bit late according to the schedule, so I would like to open the floor for discussion. Can I request all the speakers to turn your camera on, and participants, if you have any questions, if you want to ask directly to anybody, even to myself, you can just raise your hand using your react button. And also, if you feel shy to actually speak out, you can actually type your questions on the chat, and I shall help you to direct to the speakers. Yeah, and maybe I initiate the discussion first lah. For Mr. Tiru, I believe a lot of our participants would like to know how to apply or how to enroll as a nutritionist in the public service. Maybe you want to address that?
All right. Okay. Sure, CK. Right. So how do you become a PSP or nutritionist? Yeah. Right. So actually, one need to apply through the SPA Suruhanjaya Perkhidmatan Awam with the prerequisite criteria of having a recognized nutrition degree, and upon screening all the details that you have actually keyed into the website, the SPA website. SPA will eventually call for interview whenever there will be an intake. And if successful in the interview, then one will be issued an offer letter to join the public service. And if you do accept the offer, all right, to join the public service to become a PSP, and a letter of posting to wherever a vacant post is available at that point of time will be sent for you to report to duty. So all the details has to be filled in into the portal, or as I said earlier, into the Suruhanjaya Perkhidmatan Awam's portal, and from there they will take up. And usually they will require you to check from time to time in terms of to renew the application as well. So maybe between 2 to 3 years time, just do some checking, and maybe just have to scroll a bit and log in back to the portal and ensure that it's active all the time. If you did not receive any call for interview or the any updates from the SPA portal within 2 to 3 years of time. All right, so create an account, sign in, and fill in all the details in the SPA portal once you actually obtained your undergraduate degree certification. Right, that's it.
Yeah, thank you so much, Tiru. Yeah, all are online now. Go to SPA website, log in, sign up yourself. If not mistaken, actually final semester students can actually start to actually apply for the job in SPA website. Maybe Fatin, you just been enrolled to the service. Do you mind to share your what is your salary now? Actually, our salary is open I, everybody can know. If you go to SPM website, you can know our salary lah.
It's fixed throughout.
Yeah, it's fixed, and the increment also fixed. We have a questions on the chat box. Claire Ng asking about Fatin, how do you juggle your time to create contents with your permanent job? Actually, Fatin just started her permanent job early this week, so maybe not the good time for her to answer that. Or maybe Fatin, you want to answer that?
Maybe I can share my experience during I pursue my study last time and the last permanent job that I had. Okay. First, I think the best part about content creating, it is flexible, where you can decide when you want to work. Okay, so exclude your whatever permanent job, academic commitment. First, you can decide how you want to build your portfolio and content creation, meaning how many videos you want to create in a month, or how many posting you want to update daily. And whatever that you decide to update today is actually something that you can plan a month before, or something that you can put on your marketing calendar. Today we have a lot of marketing calendar. You can just like search in your Shopee, TikTok, you can get the marketing calendar. And then second, decide the timeline of the content and align your preferred style to your client. For example, first is the payment term. For example, we have like a marketing agency that adjusts an upfront payment, or maybe like 30 days, 60 days. So you can give your commitment based on the payment given, something like that. And then you can decide what you want and you don't want to do. For example, because we are speaking on behalf of a professional job as a nutritionist, right? So you can also include in your portfolio to your client what you want and what you don't want to do. And then your vision as well as the content creator. If you want to be seen as someone that is very active, very advocating about nutrition, or maybe as seen as a full-time content creator, which I get a lot, even though I don't do it full-time. So you just do your planning to add on your marketing calendar and something like that, and then make sure that you are solid with your stand as a content creator that is giving a professional perception to the client.
Yeah, thanks, Fatin. And I believe the key will be the consistent lah. Because as a content creator, your followers are actually waiting for your post. So you need to be consistent. You need to know your pace. Okay, we have a question from Tan from UPM asking Dr. Teo, how was the work environment in Khazanah Research Institute, and what are some specific skills needed to be a researcher working as a not policy maker? Dr. Teo is doing policy research. Yeah, Dr. Teo.
Thanks for the question, De Hui. First of all, I'll answer the second question first. What are the specific skill that you need to work in KRI or other policy research institute or think tank? You actually just need to have education qualification. Of course, to be a researcher, you also have to have research skill. Just to let you know that at KRI, actually, we don't actually just take in researcher with postgraduate, but also undergraduates. So if you have we actually have a few researcher actually with just a degree or a master or even a PhD degree that you can join policy research or think tank as well. But most importantly, what you need is first you need to have the research skill to actually do research like what you do for your FYP, but perhaps you also need to have a sense of current policy issues in Malaysia, understanding not just the nutrition challenges and the issues, like for example, obesity, NCD, diabetes, but what are the underlying drivers that lead to this nutrition challenge in Malaysia? You have to understand the social and the socio-economic issues that Malaysia as a whole is also going through that could drive this challenge that we see now in Malaysia. So also a sense of social and economic issues in Malaysia other than your nutrition expertise. The environment in KRI, I would say very it's really it's an environment where you get to learn every single day from not just from your work, but also from other colleagues as well and stakeholders. Because at KRI, we are actually very diverse. We have different researchers with different expertise, ranging from digital, climate, public health, housing, social protection, and many more. So when you in at KRI, we don't work as an individual researcher. We have the opportunity, but we also have to work across team, meaning across disciplinary. So for example, when we look at food issue, we just don't look at, for example, nutrition intake per se, but for example, we'll look at in the context of perhaps food insecurity, where we have to look at social issues, and we have to look at housing issue, and we have to look at income related issues. So it's really very cross-cutting, and I would like to say challenging, but it's very fulfilling, and you get to learn a lot, and also you get to be able to influence policy by doing good research. I hope that answers your question.
Thank you, Dr. Teo. Since we are on this topic, maybe Dr. Teo, do you know any other agencies or institutes which is similar to KRI in Malaysia especially, which maybe some of our fresh graduate or postgraduate students can actually go to?
Thanks, CK. I think I will also answer that question in the chat from Roshan about possible career opportunities. So as you can see from my career journey, being for postgrad, your options is not limited to just being academicians in universities. You also can do research in outside the academic as well, such as in think tanks. In Malaysia, I would say that nutrition or even food policy research is very niche. Opportunities are not great. We don't have, I wouldn't say opportunities are not great, but opportunities are limited because for now, because of our involvement so far, we don't have that many nutrition representative in policy research. As what CK say, I'm one of the very few nutrition representative. There are also others in universities and institute as well. Other than KRI, I know there is a smaller think tank called Gallant Center for Social and Health Policy, where I worked very briefly for 4 months. That's an option. And many other think tanks, like, for example, Ideas, Malaysia. But what I would suggest that if you are very truly interested in applying for a policy research position, to send your resume and CV for application, because for KRI, they actually didn't have, I wouldn't say, they didn't actually have a nutrition specific role when I applied for the job. So because to do research, you need to have a broad sense of things about social economics on top of your own expertise like nutrition. So a lot of think tanks are actually accepting researchers depending on their need. So it also depends on opportunities that they offer at that moment, at that specific time when you apply.
All right, thank you, Dr. Teo, for your inputs. And we have a questions from Tasnim for Thiru, asking about advices and tips for interns, nutritionists at Klinik Kesihatan or with Jabatan Kesihatan. Thiru, please.
All right. Okay, so to Tasnim and the others who are listening as well, right? So I would just say that there's one do and one don't that I would usually try to tell if there are any interns who are coming over to Klinik Kesihatan or Jabatan Kesihatan, right? Firstly, the do, so be proactive, right? So it doesn't mean that whenever when you're attached to a particular PSP for your internship, it doesn't mean that you have to wait for instructions or for the PSP to tell you what to do or to instruct you what to do, all right? So please be open-minded and you can always be proactive. You can offer help as well. And so for such instances, I would say, why don't you offer, if you are, very well versed in terms of designing or creating content like what Fatin is doing now. So why not you just offer whatever expertise that you have learned or you have on that particular point of time, and then you can always give your inputs to them. All right. So since I can say most of the nutritionists or PSPs that are available in the government or the public setting, we have limited resources, so we always welcome all these interns to actually come and contribute as well. And being fresh, being young, you can always step into different perspectives or different settings of the community. So we always welcome your inputs, your thoughts, and be proactive in contributing whatever things that you actually can be helpful, such as in creating games. All right. So considering my age now, I have very limited accessibility to adolescents or teenagers. So I always wonder, what can I do to tap into the market segment, all right, in terms of nutrition for adolescents. All right. So yourself being young and you're from that particular generation, so why not you contribute towards that? All right. We always welcome your inputs. So be proactive. Don't wait until the PSP asks you or instructs you to do any particular activity. And you can always come forward to handle events, or you can actually suggest to them as well. All right. So can I go to a school and maybe we make some exhibitions or programs. All right. So maybe the PSP can help you to create or to organize and to network or collaborate an event for you. Right. So we actually welcome, myself personally, I do welcome all these proactive interns who are coming to our facilities. And don't be calculative. Right. So why I'm saying this is that if you're an intern, 8 to 5, let's say we are working as per the government sector. All right. So don't be calculative, saying that, okay, I'm an intern and I will only work for 8 to 5 and there's nothing else that my PSP is asking me to do. So I can just relax, or I can just read up, or I can just be chatting with my other friends who are doing internship in some other places. All right. So please don't be calculative. Right. So you can always contribute. And again, you would have had new perspectives. When I was studying, like, in 2006 up to 2010, things were different. The Malaysian Dietary Guidelines during my studying years, my learning years, was different compared to now. All right. So share your inputs with the PSP. All right. So that's why I said be proactive and don't be calculative. And as well as I'm telling you this from the bottom of my heart, I'm very honest with all of you here. All right. We have had some interns who are coming to us and be very calculative. If, let's say, we tell them, okay, there is a program in this particular area and location, I'm not attending it, but it's in a different district or different place. Do you want to attend? So they would say, it's far away. All right. So you'd be like rejecting that. Okay. Well, personally, I would suggest that please go. Right. So settings are different within the same state. There will be different settings. There'll be urban, suburbans, and rural. So you would have a very good opportunity to learn different programs. Even in Penang itself, we have 5 districts. There is one program, as I said, mentioned earlier during my presentation, my sharing, that's urban community feeding. And in Penang, there's only one district is conducting that community feeding program. All right. So if you're an intern in District A, you won't be learning what's happening in District B. All right. So why don't you yourself request or ask for to attend all these activities or programs in different districts as well? We can accommodate if you would like to. Right. So the PSP is actually very friendly. So don't be very scared or afraid to talk to them or to ask them if you would like to do anything. All right. That's it. Thank you.
Right. Just to add on a little bit, a quick one. Don't be shy to ask lah. If you ask, people might answer you. If you don't ask, definitely nobody will answer you. Right. My questions to Fatin. Might be a lot of our fresh graduates interested to be a full-time content creator. Even my own son, my 8-year-old son, was telling me he want to be a YouTuber. So maybe you can share your experience, how you earn money, from which way you can actually make your income. You need to feed yourself also, right? So see whether our nutrition graduates can actually survive by being a full-time content creator. Fatin, please.
Okay. Thank you so much for the question. Actually, to put it simple, most of the incomes coming from the first is the media platform, and then second is from the corporate workshop, and then third is from the fitness center. For the media platform, for example, usually there are few brands, or like there are a few marketing or like TV platform that is interested to work with a nutritionist for the expert to give the insights in terms of nutrition. For example, even though we don't endorse the brand, they want to hear the insights on their nutritional value and so on. So usually, if they are very passionate to work with us, I will let them have the preference. Let them acknowledge our preference. For example, what we can do and what we cannot do, and so on. And then check their certificates on their products and so on. And then after that, if everything is okay, then we can work with the media. And then second, from the corporate workshops, surprisingly, last year I did a weight loss management program with Kementerian Ekonomi for 6 months at their kementerian, where we did it like a workshop every month, every bi-weekly. For example, like the topic would be on the grocery tips, and then cooking demonstration and so on. And then I also collaborate with few other professionals like fitness trainer, and then counselors to help in a multidisciplinary team on them to achieve their optimal weight throughout the 6 months program. And then the last one is the fitness center. I love to work with fitness center because usually, based on my little experience, the fitness centers will gather all those people who actually already aware about their health and very would be partly committed towards changing their lifestyle toward very much healthier. So they are giving like 100% commitment that I know that they can achieve what they actually envision, because they are paying for that fee, of course, to join the gym classes and so on. And at the same time, there are also like few companies that join the program to provide the meal according to my meal planning for them individually. So that is very interesting because I didn't actually work alone, but I contribute to the multidisciplinary team that want to help this community.
Right, thank you. So basically, the content creator income, first one will be from the media platform. So if you are performing well, so you have more followers, then you are earning more. So in the other words, we need to like create some content that can attract followers to us. Then when you have the followers, then some collaborator will start coming to you and approach you and engage with you, so that, but definitely they have their agendas, and we as nutritionists, we need to keep our professionalism. Yeah, we don't simply endorse any products without scientific evidence and all that. Right, thank you so much, Fatin. We move on to Dr. Teo. We have some friends from international, Saili, if I'm not, I hope I pronounce your name correctly. International nutrition students asking about if internationals means if non-Malaysian can actually work in your work in research institute, or more specifically KRI. Dr. Teo?
Yeah, I think I don't think there is a policy that is against hiring international graduate, not student anymore. But they are also, if you like to look at if you're also looking at like international organizations, Malaysia also have a few who actually offer nutrition opportunities. Like for example, that I know of includes UNICEF. They have an office here in Malaysia. And some UN agency as well. For example, UNHCR also do recruit nutritionists. Yeah, and many other think tanks. I'm not too sure about the employment policies, but a lot of them actually I don't think have policy against hiring international graduates. That's what I know. I hope that helps.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Teo. I think that will conclude our forum discussion. Our time is near to the end. And once again, on behalf of the organizing committee, I would like to thank 3 speakers for your kind sharing. We really appreciate that. Very interesting sharing. And to the participants, I thank all of you, especially those who asked questions. And thanks again, everyone, and I pass the floor back to the MC. Tasnim, please.
Thank you to Mr. Ng and all of our speakers for their inspiring and very informative session. And I hope everyone learned something, including me myself. Now, I would like to invite Associate Prof. Dr. Won Chee In to give the closing remarks.
Thanks, Tasnim. Hi, everyone. I hope you are still with us today. I hope you have enjoyed the webinar. It's a very short one, and it is the 5th year actually that we are hosting this Malaysia Nutrition Career Journey webinar 2025. So I thank you for joining us today, and I also thank the 3 speakers who I believe you agree with me that have brought us very unique perspective and very valuable perspective to the table today. Now, we started by hearing from the public health nutritionist, Mr. Thiru, who truly tell us that how PSP or public states nutritionists can actually transform community, and also why passion, empathy, and also our interest in the field will actually transform the field. He reminded us in his last slide saying that emotionally, if we are invested, then we want to contribute. Thank you. That is a very good message. Next, we had Dr. Teo Aini. Dr. Teo Aini, she shared with us her journey, which started as a food scientist in Singapore, and how he pivoted into the field of nutrition, public facing. And she reminded us that every step in our journey, in our nutrition journey, actually adds the depth and also the strength to our professional identity. And today she is one of very few nutrition policy researchers in the area, and we are very proud of that. And finally, we had the nutritionist Fatin. So most of you would know her as the content creator. She shared with us the interesting story of how she started her journey in her Baju Raya when she felt the call and also the sense of responsibility to correct some misinformation. I think she reminded us that, authenticity is our strength. And as nutritionists or future nutritionists in this room, I think it's very important that we keep showing up. If you want to become an influencer as your real self, you have to show up as your real self, because it's very essential in building trust and also connection with the people around us. And I hope in general, all our 3 speakers, through their sharing, you agree with me that the world of nutrition is very broad, it's very diverse, it's also full of responsibilities. So from grassroots initiatives, in the community, to high-level policy, from the research labs to Instagram feeds, there are many things we can do as nutritionists. Now, with that note, I would also like to remind everyone that we hope that you will continue to support this nutrition career journey. This is our 5th year having this nutrition career journey webinar, with the hope that we will introduce, the diverse opportunities working as nutritionists in the field, and also to invite you to contribute as a nutritionist in the field. We will later, by the end of this session, we will disseminate a feedback form, and we truly hope that you will fill up the form and tell us what we can do better so that our next webinar next year will be even better. And finally, I would like to remind everyone, this is the year 2025. It's a very special year because it's also the year where we celebrate Malaysians Nutritionist Day. Now, if you have a calendar or somewhere, just write it down in your calendar now that on the 4th of September, this year, you have already heard the news that we are going to celebrate Malaysian Nutritionist Day. So it's a very important date that marks our profession. So nutritionist is one of the very important health profession in this country. And we hope you will join us in the celebration that day, where we're going to have also a public forum to celebrate the profession. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you for being here, and I hope to see you again. Back to you, Tashneem. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Wong, for the very great speech. And now we'll proceed to the special segment of our program, which is the presentation of the digital certificates to our esteemed speakers in recognition of their invaluable contribution for today's webinar. So we begin by inviting Mr. Tiru to the virtual stage to receive the certificate. Okay, thank you, Mr. Tiru, for the insightful sharing.
We have taken a photo, right? Have we? Yeah, we have taken. Thank you.
Okay, technical team. Okay. Next, we invite Dr. Teo to accept her certificate. Okay, thank you, Dr. Teo, for the valuable contribution. And lastly, we welcome Ms. Fatin to receive the certificate. Okay, thank you, Ms. Fatin, for the engaging presentation. So for this part, we move on to the next part. So for this part, everyone need to put their best smile since we want to take a quick group photo together. So everyone, please turn on your cameras if you haven't turned them on yet. Okay, we will wait for everyone to open their cameras. Okay, we will wait for everyone to open their camera. Maybe the technical team can close first the slide. Just read this. Okay, I will take. Okay, everyone need to. Okay, wait. This people. Okay, everyone need to smile all the time since there are many pages that I need to take, okay? 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay. Okay, 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, freestyle. 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, the last page. That 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, that's so. Before we officially wrap up, let me share with you some exciting upcoming programs by the NSM and hope all of you can join it. So for the nearest event is Nutrition Month Malaysia, which is on 4 until 18 May 2025 at IOI City Mall Putrajaya. So you can get more details about the Nutrition Month Malaysia on the link that provided. Move on to the second program is the 4th NSM Scientific Conference 2025, which is a great chance to learn, build network, and also grow in the nutrition field. So if you want to get more detail about this, you can just click the link. And next is the Malaysia Nutritionist Day, like what have been mentioned by Dr. Wong, which is starting from this year, 2025, we will celebrate every year on the 4th of September. And put it in your calendar, okay? So, and last but not least, is in the long run, is the 15th Asian Congress of Nutrition, which is coming up in 2027. So this one you really need to put in your calendar because maybe you may forget about it, but it's okay. Just follow the NSM social media. And if you are interested in being part of NSM, you can scan the QR code on your screen to get more details about this. So before we end, we kindly ask everyone to take a moment to fill in our feedback form. Just a few minutes from your time because your response helps us improve and create better programs in the future. Thank you again for being with us today. Take care and see you at our next program.